Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 sense for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the game. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back, just wait and you'll see. Please excuse me, your honor, but you can't hold me no longer. Can't you feel the vibrations? I broke out and left traces. Go ahead, try to catch me if you can, man. You'll be looking all night, I'm the Sandman. New York, London to Japan. I'ma show the whole world who I am. Boom, boom, boom. Major look.
BronzeBomber Nation, rise up. Once again, you know what it is. It's Thursday. We still in it. WCS supporters, I salute you. Appreciate your support. I just wanted to get a quick, SKIDMARK Chronicles out the way this morning before I head off. But check this out. For those of you who are not understanding, this is BronzeBomber. Rise up all the way to fight night. The bat signal is up. It's not going to be, oh, well, we're just going to listen to certain individuals bash the BronzeBomber, Deontay Wilder, all the way to his fight day. No, we're going to get some people out here and we're going to try to bring new fans to the table, whether you want to like it or not. And really, if you're tuning into this and you don't like the numbers, it's okay. I'm older media. It's okay. I'm cool with it because it takes 5 smart motherfuckers. I'd rather have 5 smart motherfuckers in the building rather than 2,500 dumb niggas. That's just period. That's just that's just the way I feel. Don't sit up here first and foremost and listen because, someone is giving individual a platform. And also, when you hear these individuals, when I was told that I'm asking, why y'all pretty much fucking with SKIDMARK, they say he bring content to the channel. That let me know we all wrong. We all wrong in this whole boxing, reporting game, because it has absolutely nothing to do with character. They sit up here and say, oh, he brings views. What views? Show me your check. Because I don't live off YouTube. I don't have to do lives every day, but show me a check where he's bringing views, dogging out the BronzeBomber every day. Show me how your channel has went to new levels because SKIDMARK can't bring you success in YouTube. SKIDMARK is not going to be one of those YouTube sensations that was disrespecting everybody and turn back around and people want to see him in person. Ain't nobody trying to check out that ethos like that. Come on, man. Nobody's trying to check out that ethos like that. Like I told you before, the reason why he's continuing to dog out a black man, because he ain't black. So I expect to see that from him. He don't know what it's like to be black. It's certain features that when he's looking in the mirror, he don't see. That's just fact. There's certain features on his body, certain features in his face, everything that he know damn well he ain't a black man. So what he's gonna do? He's gonna switch sides because he truly wants to be, accepted and embraced and hugged. He's looking for comfort, companionship in this bitch. He ain't never had it because when he chewed out that hefty bag, he said, "Wow, I made it. I made it. Wow." And he never knew how to act since then. He never had any guidance. But you coming on here vilifying Deontay Wilder because of his accusations. Good morning to each and every one of you that's tuned in. SKIDMARK Chronicle is what it is. The Bronze Bomber is going to rise regardless of this individual is making rounds and believing that he's important. I'm going to tell you like this. July 24th is going to be the biggest fight of the year. It's a trilogy, first and foremost. It's a trilogy. How often do we get a trilogy? Second, the fan base is going to be way, way different than it was the first two fights. Deontay Wilder as a fighter is going to be way different than what he was in the rematch. And he took all that punishment. Now here's SKIDMARK over here talking. You know, he's trying to advocate for Mark Breland. Go over there to SKIDMARK's channel and retrieve. Before February 22nd, I want you to retrieve videos, timestamps of Mark Breland being hyped up on SKIDMARK's channel. I give $100 per video. Give me the video before February 22nd, 2020, where SKIDMARK was supporting Mark Breland before he got fired. I just want to see if we can bring up those videos. So somebody allow yourself to make some extra revenue. Somebody give me the video. Or when it has to be more than 2 videos, because for somebody to jump on the channel and dog out the Bronze Bomber the way he is, no, we don't want to hear no repeated, rehearsed, retreaded lines. We already know what Deontay Wilder accused Mark Breland of. We already know what his statement was post-fight. We know Kevin Iole, put out only a certain amount of the interview that they had. He's a motherfucking slime ball, period. What you expect? The man is a walking bag of Crisco oil, for real. He's what you call obesity, mobile obesity. Somebody provide me, like I told the other people who was up here talking to Mark Breland's son. And see, when I spoke to him, it wasn't because I reached out to him. It's because he reached out to me. And I wasn't disrespectful to that young man. I just said, I told you what it was, bro. You shouldn't be on here because you don't know the entire story if you wasn't up there in the camp with your pops. And these people are going to use you, man. And they're gonna put your voice out there and they're gonna chop it up. And they're never going to talk to you again because you're not in the boxing community. Your dad is. Your dad is the one that had the credentials in boxing, from the amateurs to professionals. They don't care nothing about you. Why we still talking about, why we listen to SKIDMARK talk about somebody's line when he don't even know what the truth is? He don't even know how to spell it. The man is a high school dropout. He don't know shit about anything dealing with boxing in the back. He never been to a fight in his life. He hasn't even sat in the audience and seen a fight up person. He haven't even did a media scrum. He hasn't did none of that. So don't believe none of the lies that he's telling off rehearsed PR information that he can retrieve from Google. Why JG's went over there? He's supposed to be looking at the gloves. JD's went back there, and somehow, some way, the glove situation was an oversight on his part, and he had to deal with Deontay Wilder on that. I think a chemical in my body is somewhat more of a detriment than a glove, because at least a glove allow you to elude and attempt to flee. You know what I'm saying? At least the glove allow you to understand that something isn't right. You know what I'm saying? And we all know if you have a chemical in your body, it's going to cause you to be much, much lethargic or slower than you usually are. And then what it is, you're going to get hit more with the gloves. It's a perfect setup. It's a perfect setup. Slow down your target so that you're able to deliver that much more punishment. Slow down your target. You have a slower target, a less dangerous target. So therefore, you can punish him like that. He wants to talk about Mark Breland. This is how incompetent SKIDMARK is. He want to talk about Mark Breland being hired by Charlo. No, he actually went over there to speak to his good friend Ronnie Shields. You need to get your shit together and be better if you're going to talk boxing. Because right now you build your name, SKIDMARK, of controversy. Within that controversy, you have grown-ass men that's in your conversation that you're disrespecting. But I want to send a message, SKIDMARK. This is about BronzeBomber Nation right here. We're going to talk about this all the way until he goddamn turned that corner and walked to the Coliseum. You know what I'm saying? Battle lines are drawn. This is personal. You're not going to sit up here and defame this man's name as if you can box. You're sitting up here talking about one of the primary voices, the prominent voices out here on YouTube, and Tay Jones, and you saying all this shit about, you know, he got stopped by Julius Ndongo. But what you failed to mention was Tay Jones pretty much hurt Ndongo prior to that. What you failed to mention is that it's the game of boxing, and there's some tough matches out here. Period. It's some tough fights out here. Period. You have to understand that if you knew how to get on a plane, knew how to drive to a boxing match, any boxing match, but you scared. You can't even go to a boxing match in Memphis. I was in your backyard, but maybe like 4 weeks ago. I came in and I left. No problem. I wasn't worried about nothing. Check my IG, all those fake accounts you got. Check it out. BronzeBomber Nation, rise up. You can sit up here and talk about somebody hiring on, you know, you want to act like you're an advocate for Mark Breland. Mark Breland's not coming on your show. You never talked about Mark Breland before February 22nd. I can tell you I was talking about the BronzeBomber before February 22nd. But this is where we at, SKIDMARK. I'm not here to change who you are as a person because you can't be changed. That's not my importance. My importance is for you to understand that, you know, this is the biggest fight of the year, and this is going to be one of the biggest fights in boxing history. The BronzeBomber is an individual which you were infatuated with. You never had loyalty to him. When you was talking about how he was calling your name and everything, I just used to shake my head because I knew this day was coming. I knew you was going to turn on him. I knew you would. You start acting like, oh, I'm gonna get the facts. I'm gonna get the facts. No, you was hating, nigga. You was hating. You was hating, and then you hated on everybody that supported the BronzeBomber. You know what I'm saying? That's what you did. And that's just homemade type of mannerisms and behavior that you have. That's what hoes do. I'm not here to call SKIDMARK anything except SKIDMARK. That's important to me for you all to understand that. It's upside down because the man ain't never been upright in life. Y'all have to understand the words that he's talking about with the BronzeBomber. We heard before. We heard about the gloves. We've seen all the videos. We've seen the slides. We've seen several channels talk on it. It was a glove scandal. It was cheating going on. The BronzeBomber was drugged. My point is to you, why you're talking about it still to validate your hate with him moving on for a trilogy. I got it. I got it. When that arbitration greened up on your ass and you said, oh shit, I've been talking shit about Joshua Fury. It's not happening. I wasted my time. You up here talking about Joshua Fury. You wasted your time. Once again, you found out firsthand how strong Wilder and his team is. He won arbitration. That shit perked you up in a different way. You was like, damn, I've been up here talking about Joshua Fury. I've been selling out the whole time. So you took time to commit yourself to start bashing the Bronze Bomber. You calling the man, you're not black. You're a disgrace to even consider yourself to be. You and your brother. You're not black. You yearn to be black. So that's why you're going at another black man the way you are. Because you was unfortunately placed into this world and you don't know who you are. You a etho skid mark, period. You a etho, dog. You mad and angry. You're talking about tearing down a black man, but that's what you've done several dozen times over. You disrespected people. You talked about their family. You feel it's okay to call men this and that. You said it so much, but it don't mean anything. You're not whooping anybody's ass. And then you're like 125. I'm not going to give you your whole weight, your weight division. I don't even think they have it in the 17 divisions in boxing. I don't think you on there. Skid mark division. I think that's below minimum weight. Nigga, you small. You ain't doing this shit. You trying to creep out at night. Boy, they got them eyes on you, boy. They got them eyes on you, boy. It don't matter who these cats are talking about. Well, you want to see him, hit the Cash App. Ain't nobody giving Cash App money to anybody ahead of time. If you want the money exchange hands to anything, you do it face to face. Who cares about all that? What you talking about? You think somebody's going to sit up here and pay to see you in person? You ain't that important except to speak on this YouTube shit, because you're going to hear this Bronze Bomber shit all from here all the way to fight night. 42-1, 41 knockouts. And you can't find any validity to him being one of the best heavyweight champs in boxing. You want to sit up here as a non-black man and speak on Tyson Fury, who's never defended the title, who's a dope fiend crackhead, who's did everything that you have done in your life, failed. He hasn't defended the WBC belt because he was tied up in court litigations. So therefore, he hasn't defended the WBC belt. He never defended the unified titles. He's a true legitimized cheat, validated, guilty. Instead of you talking about that, you speaking about Deontay Wilder, all this other stuff he said, as if it's all brand new information that really supersedes what Tyson Fury has done in his boxing career. It doesn't supersede that. Deontay Wilder has done everything right in his boxing career, shouty. At one point in time, you was all for it, right? Isn't that what you said? Oh, yeah, Deontay Wilder, he said my name. I couldn't believe it. He called my name. I hope he say SKIDMARK now. I want to give a shout out to SKIDMARK. Keep on being that shitty individual. Let's see how he call your name now, though. Because how you want to sit up here and claim that you talk about boxing, you respect boxing, but yet all you do is sit up here and call boxers bums. You don't plan on showing up to a fight card once. It don't matter who with you. You don't plan on showing up to a fight card. I know it's not going to be with Team Haney. You're talking about he'll fly you out anytime, but you choose to stay in the hood. I can believe you want to be in the hood. I see a lot of rats in the hood. I can understand that. I get it. 79 Boxing, salute WCS. What's good? D Hodges, what's up, World Combat Sports? Chat, salute OG, salute TOG, what's good? There go that link there, Moody. There you is. You said You said if they were able to get away loaded gloves, poison water, and crooked ref, how can you expect Wilder to win? It's all stacked against him. How can I expect him to win? I expect him to win going in there 100% in the rematch because he's the much better fighter. Tyson Fury can box, but Deontay Wilder was blessed with gifts that Tyson Fury would never have. You heard it from Tyson Fury himself. Didn't he say, you can't teach an old dog new tricks? So how in the hell Sugar Hill taught him new tricks? How did he teach him new tricks? And he's an old dog in a fight. Tell me that. I mean, seriously. Tell me that. How can you say Sugar Hill taught you something when you just said you can't teach an old dog new tricks? How old is Tyson Fury? Oh, it's evidence to support it. One of the most the evidence to stand out the most that's lucid to me is the fact that he was looking different from the locker room to the ring. He was not himself. It wasn't because of no suit and how heavy the suit was. You can tell in the man's eyes when he's been manipulated with some type of drug or chemical. And he himself, as a fighter, knows how he felt. He knew how he felt. He knew something was wrong. Look back at when the referee was giving him instructions and how his eyes was beaming down like he's zoned out. He's trying to pay attention, and he's trying to really overly focus on what the referee is saying. Why? He's been here all before. Deontay Wilder has seen this shit before. The man is trying to overly focus on the words that are coming out of Kenny Bailey's mouth. Something wasn't right. Look, he said, how can you expect Wilder to win? It's all. See, that's why I get ignorant, incompetent dudes on here, whoever you are. Because when I put the link in there, you need to come out behind your fake profile and speak that shit. If you are in here talking about what Wilder, how do you expect this? How do you expect that? Let's talk about Tyson Fury and Christian Hammer. Let's talk about him and Dan Vladimir Klitschko. Let's talk about how he came and had to drop weight and he was up here fighting cans. And he went in there and was gifted a draw. That should have been Tyson Fury's first loss because he was truly knocked out. Jack Reese gifted him another day to live to fight Deontay Wilder in the rematch. He lost that fight. He was knocked out. His head bounced off the canvas, mouth open. The man was knocked the fuck out. But things get quiet when that link go in there. The link is right there for you, shawty. You need to get your notes together, or time you open your mouth, you're gonna see you're gonna be somebody else, SKIDMARK. If that's SKIDMARK, come on and jump on the panel, SKIDMARK. Because I know you're scared to jump on my panel. I know you're scared to jump on my panel. Because you can't jump on somebody else's panel that's not your ally. You have a lot of allies out here that are rats just like you. Rats always move together. Anybody who supports you. Jump on out of that damn fake account and come on here and explain to me what we talking about old news for. We trying to sit up here and celebrate the fact this arbitration is only happening. It's official. And this trilogy, it's official. It doesn't sit right with you and a lot of other people. SKIDMARK encompasses all the haters. All y'all ain't shit. But the one SKIDMARK that I'm trying to, focus on, he won't get on here. He knows better. He say all that rehearsed shit and say the same thing over and over. It's not going to work over here. You don't have the cojones. You don't have the intestinal fortitude to jump on somebody's panel because you don't have control over what's happening. You're going to have to sit here and listen. You know what I'm saying? BronzeBomber Nation, rise up. A fighter that you supported at one time, but you chose to sell out and allow Tyson Fury to sit on your face. That's what I'm gathering from you. You decide to switch up and call a man you never met a bitch. You never met the man. You calling him a bitch. You calling people on his team a bitch. Knowing damn well there's repercussions for that. Not only Wilder's team, but you did it to several other people. You're not talking boxing. It must be lonely in that room, huh? None of us really care. But man, when we out there July 24th, massive Deontay Wilder fans. Massive. When we out there July 24th, you're going to be right there in that room, shawty. You're going to be right there in that room, that dirty, crusty, roach-infested room. You're not going to be at the fight. It's too risky. You're not going to come out and see one of the biggest fights in boxing history. You can't. You're going to be right there in that room. Because in your heart of hearts, man, you really want to see the Bronze Bomber in person. You want to see him walk in with his team. You want to see the man himself. You want to check how tall he really is, how imposing he is. You really want to just take a look and say, wow, I've been disrespecting the shit out of this man. And look at how the fans treat him. They want to go up and take a picture with him. They want to talk to him. You won't get close to that, shawty. Come on, man. You won't get close in the proximity. It's no disguise. You can disguise yourself on here, but you can't disguise yourself in person. It's no way that you're getting close to the proximity to go up there and say, you're not getting close, shawty. You're not walking up there. I don't know what to say, champ. I'm about to shed some tears. You're different than what I imagine. I know I disrespected you. Can I get? Hell no, you ain't getting the picture, nigga. What I want you to do is work on yourself. I want you to go bathe in Clorox first. You need to clean yourself out. You up here calling the man a bitch and saying he's lying about everything because you mad he won the arbitration. You extremely upset that the fight is going to July 24th. You upset knowing that Deontay Wilder has a huge opportunity to reclaim his belt. And he will. Deep down to your side, you believe going back in there, he's going to be a better fighter. You want to hate on Malik Scott because all of what he said about an autopsy? Man, you petty because you yourself don't have an education. You say some things that I question. I'm like, did this dude receive a thorough education? Was English his first language? Because you're not black. So I'm curious to know if you fled across the water and they found you on the beach. I don't know, but you're not black. So when I see you dogging out another black man and talking about blacks, you can't talk shit about blacks. It don't matter what religion you claim. One minute you're Muslim, the next you're Protestant, the other you're Baptist. What sect you claiming? One minute you're Crip, the next you're Blood. What are you claiming in life? You're a fraud from day one. You was a fraud, dog. So SKIDMARK, are you going to be at the fight in Las Vegas, July 24th? It's at the Allegiant Stadium. It's going to be one of the most epic boxing matches. We're going to have two individuals that consider the top two heavyweights in the game. They're going to go in there for a third time to settle all this. When Deontay Wilder go in there and smashes Tyson Fury, oh, you're still going to be, out here wanting to jump on Fred the Barbershop Show and let your voice be heard because you got one of the weakest channels. People just sit on there and jump on your channel periodically and then leave. Aren't you the one sit up here? Oh, we respect women on this channel. Oh, we respect people on this channel. Let's keep it boxing. Let's keep it boxing. you are what you you are what they call an absolute certified crackhead. 1 minute you're screaming and yelling, drooling at the mouth. And then the next you're on there telling people, keep it boxing, y'all. Hey, let it talk, let it talk, let it talk. Keep it boxing, keep it boxing. You don't even keep it boxing. You're disrespecting the man and his family, man. Bronze Bomber Nation, man, is rise up. Bronze Bomber Nation rise up all the way to get this belt again, period. I put the link in there. D. Hodges, I put the link in there for SKIDMARK. It ain't happening. He won't jump in. He come in with a whole different account, but the link is in there. Ain't they say, oh, well, drop the link, drop the link. I mean, I dropped the link, dog. He only goes where he believes he's allies. He has his allies. Isn't he the one that was apologizing to Fred before? He had to go on an apology tour and be in the good graces of Fred. And this is no shot to Fred, because he ain't did shit to me. I'm just talking in general because he on this show. It's an uncensored show, over there. So I'm talking. Didn't he have to apologize? Didn't he speak to the Bronze Bomber on Fred's show? Wasn't his attitude different? He was smiling. He was happy that the Bronze Bomber recognized that, yeah, H Money, that energy. I always consider H Money's energy just like the sting that you see when you're somewhere close to wildlife and they just took a shit in the pasture anywhere, because they don't go to the bathroom in a Porta John, a motherfucking community head, and nothing like that, community bathroom. They just take a shit right there. Boom. I always consider his energy like that sting that's coming up off hot, popping, piping, a pile of shit that's out there in the element. That's what I consider his energy. I've never really took it serious. All the ranting and raving and the disrespect. I never took that shit serious. But he was happy when the Bronze Bomber recognized his energy. And unfortunately, a lot of people are fooled from this energy. And those who support him, you have some foolishness in you too. Because you want to do this shit for views. So really, when I see you in person, just keep it on the views. We don't have nothing to talk about because you can't function as a man online. So therefore, I don't have nothing to say to you in person because you're all about the views. So you're willing to sacrifice each and everything in your life for the views. It don't matter if that person is an absolute rat. Oh, man. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, SKIDMARK, to the panel. What you got to say, SKIDMARK? A bitch ass nigga. He said, we done heard that shit before. It's running out. He's running out of content. He don't know nothing about boxing. He definitely ain't gonna debate me in boxing because the shit he says, everybody knows. They'll sit up there and repeat the same stuff. He fired Mark Breland. He never had no proof. He talking about loaded gloves, but he never provided no proof. He talking about Dennis Scott. He didn't provide any proof. Who was he supposed to provide proof to? You? You can't read, nigga. He can't read. So who are you gonna provide the proof to? You want him to send you the doctor's note when he's in court? He's supposed to giving a random rat his information. That's what Deontay Wilder's supposed to do. He's supposed to reach down, lift up the lid, climb down in the sewer system, cut on his flashlight. SKIDMARK. Hey, SKIDMARK. It's Deontay Wilder. SKIDMARK, where you at? Where you at? Come on. Come on. Let me see your eyes. I got some paperwork for you. SKIDMARK, hurry up, man. This is not my element. I'm used to white couches. The high price, drink that you can't afford. I'm used to the lavish lifestyle. Come on, SKIDMARK. Come to the light. Come on out. You can do it. I got some treats for you. SKIDMARK. SKIDMARK. Where you at? This is usually the time you come out. No, get back. I didn't call you. I called SKIDMARK. Go get your friend. Go get your friend. Go get SKIDMARK. You know where he's at? Have you seen him today? Oh, he might be behind the McDonald's off 5th Street in the dumpster. There you go. Oh, thanks for the info, man. I'm gonna climb out this motherfucker because I'm messing up my motherfucking gear. You know what I'm saying? This fresh BronzeBomber gear. Let me get out this motherfucker and go look for him. Let me go find somebody. They say he might be in the dumpster, behind the McDonald's on 5th Street. Let's go over there and look. Let's go over there and look. Because I want to provide him this documentation. Because he's requesting documentation for the damage that was inflicted on his skull. The man had a scratch inside his ear, bleeding, fat lip. Tyson Fury had altered, manipulated gloves. Pictures everywhere to prove it. The man is a legitimized cheater. He was caught. He was caught already. The thumb loop was manipulated and altered in his fight with Christian Hammer. Not only that, he popped positive for Pez. So it's really no excuse for somebody to be advocating for Tyson Fury. There should be 150% maximum support for BronzeBomber heading into this fight. Period. There should be way more people standing up and cheering him for winning the arbitration because he wants the third fight. He did not want step aside money. See, that's the topic you need to talk about, SKIDMARK. Nobody wants to hear the same repeated, and Mark Breland. That's why Charlo didn't hire no Mark Breland. Who was asking for Mark Breland when he was on Deontay Wilder's team? SKIDMARK was up here dogging out Deontay Wilder's team. He was saying he should fire him. Don't nobody on his team know shit. That's what SKIDMARK. SKIDMARK is one of those guys who can't make up his mind. Why? Because he's not black and he's not white. He's not Mexican. He's not European and none of that shit. Not Filipino. So he's in a place right now. He has no identity. His only identity is to sit in one room with the roaches and goddamn talk loud and speak the same shit all over and over again, because that's what he do. Rehearse lines and say the same shit, which means nothing. He's not whooping nobody's ass. I'm just curious. You don't hear me talking about, people's personal identity and shit like that. I usually leave that shit alone, but since you want to talk about shit that, calling a man a bitch and all that, once again, and you're a bum. You was the one hitting the bag, right? So why can't we just see you at a gym? Call up BH and have him bring you out there to train and go through a full workout with Haney. Put it on live. Let us know you truly can go in there and get that work. One round. Just get one round with Darren Cunningham. Just one round. Not your bum ass brother over there holding the bag while you sitting up there. Huh? There ain't nobody believing that shit, dog. You won't get none of those punches off. Stop that bullshit. You not hitting the bag. You probably don't even know how to wrap your hands, man. You probably sitting up there with some 25-ounce Chuck E. Cheese gloves on, hitting the bag. I told you I could box. Stop it. Bro, stop that bullshit. You disrespecting boxing. You're already a disgrace to this damn country. You shouldn't even be here in the first place. You're a disgrace to the country. You got ran out of the West Coast, and now you over here. It's only a matter of time before you get ran out of Memphis. It's only a matter of time. Deshaun Thompson in the building. What's good? Now it's going to be one of the most life-changing knockouts ever seen by a man. Hey, man, talk to him. 21 strong in the building. Salute to you. So what's up, WCS in the chat? Hit the like button, man. You know what it is, man. Hey, I'd rather have 5 intelligent rather than 2,500 idiots. The numbers to me. Hit the like button if you're in the building. If you're not, cool. This is going to be BronzeBomber Nation all day, all the way until the July 24th. SKIDMARK Chronicles episode number 2. We're not going to have the naysayers come on here and use other people's platforms to talk this negative shit. We're not going to do that, bro. That guy Eclipse, what's good? 330. Salute to you. What's good, OG? If you watch boxing enough, it's only one dude that I can be talking about who's SKIDMARK. So therefore, you can figure it out. Because I know the ones that's in here are smart individuals. None of them have the mindset of SKIDMARK. So you can understand who SKIDMARK is. Do your research. His name is SKIDMARK. I'm not calling him anything else but that. My whole purpose is for you to tell a friend that we need to stand up and unite for the BronzeBomber going back into this trilogy. You have to understand the man's fought for several months in court, out of the ring. People's champ. He fought out of the ring, recovering from one of the toughest fights of his career. He fought outside the ring to step back in to fight the same man who delegated that punishment to him. But it's not the fact that it happened, it's how it happened. Tyson Fury cheated, point blank, period. Don't, you know what? I can sit up here and say, so how SKIDMARK and everybody else, the naysayers, are going to allow Deontay Wilder fans, the only ones to be Deontay Wilder fanboys and shit like that, right? How are you going to allow yourself to say, let me support a repeated cheater over someone who's an Olympian, a bronze medalist who's did everything right, who fast track in boxing, and he has tenure in the championship pinnacle, at the championship pinnacle. He has tenure up there over 5 years. He has legitimate championship tenure. So how you going to support Tyson Fury and act like he's this golden child? Tyson Fury's doing everything right. Now, man, like I said before, SKIDMARK, I totally get it, man. Crackheads hang together. I totally get why you supporting Tyson Fury. You hope he sends you a bag. You want that powder. You want that crystal. You want him to send you a nice little care package. SKIDMARK, is that your name? Here's a care package from Tyson. He said, thank you for your negativity and Deontay Wilder bashing. Now go ahead, be careful. People's been known to, OD. Go ahead. He's giving him those packages, those crackhead packages. Signed, sealed, and delivered. So I can understand why he's supporting Fury. Because crackheads, they pretty much gather. They gather up between one another. They know the crackhead mentality. They support one another like that. Real talk. Seriously, that's what crackheads do. 1 minute you're trying to say, okay, you smoking weed. You can be smoking weed. But the whole point is, when you turn on this YouTube channel, you have to realize the fact that Deontay Wilder won his arbitration. We don't want to hear shit about the glove situation. We don't want to hear shit about presenting documentation to you. You're nobody. No one needs to present documentation and proof to you, SKIDMARK. He already climbed down in the sewer system and looked for you with the flashlight. You wasn't there. He found you behind the McDonald's off 5th Street, chumping down on a leftover quarter pounder. He found you. And when he tried to tell you, hey, listen, SKIDMARK, I brought you the documentation, you didn't want to turn and face him. You had your back turned, like with both hands, and you was just chewing, chowing down on that damn eating quarter pounder that was in there and all the dirty fries that laced the bottom of the dumpster. So when you didn't pay him any attention, he said, damn, man, I really wanted to, show this guy my proof with nobody around. I want to show him. So he said, okay, let me check over here. It's another rat that looks the same over here. Oh, shit, that's his brother. He tried to go over there And his brother just ran away up the street. He thought he was by himself. He ran away. This motherfucker left his damn family behind. I guess that's what the ethos do, right? Valentine said, "What's up? Facts, bro. Bomb squad all day. Anyone think Wilder was afraid of Fury? Didn't want Fury. This should prove to them. No step aside money. The champ wants blood. He wants blood. That's a different type of currency. Ain't it? They're 21 strong. Isn't that a different type of currency? That currency is different, isn't it? He wants blood. He wants to be reimbursed with blood, period. Period. And please, those SKIDMARK pundits, those little small mice and rats that roll with him, it doesn't matter if you run back and text him. I'm surprised rats know how to text each other like that. But due to social media, it does. You know, you have rats that'll show up through the window chewing on some motherfucking leftovers and shit. It's according if they went to Wendy's or McDonald's, how stale the food is. They pull up. Oh, he's talking about SKIDMARK. Oh, shit. Let me go text SKIDMARK. Let me hurry up. So they scurry across the damn roadways and go back to the damn meeting spot. Hey, you know WCS over there, he's saying some bad things about your SKIDMARK. I know you don't have Wi-Fi service out here, but you might want to get back to the house. And instead of eating out of the dumpster, just eat some of the roaches off the wall and do a live. Do a live right now. You have to defend yourself, SKIDMARK. Please. Do it for us. Do it for all the rats and the mice. And the sewer community. Do it for us, y'all. Nobody's going to show you any documentation, bro. Just ask yourself, why would Deontay Wilder show the average citizen documentation with a doctor's name on it? Who would do that? Who would put their doctor's name out here and say, this is my documentation? Does he suppose that when he went in there for his bicep surgery, how many people on YouTube was there when he came out of anesthesia? When he finally came out of operation, how many was there? How many of you all knew he had a bicep injury? How many people can say they was there? So if let's just say it was 0%, how do you believe he's going to present documentation? How do you believe Tay Jones is going to present documentation to regular average YouTube voices so y'all can screenshot and speak on it? Well, first of all, this is a document from Deontay Wilder's physician, a doctor. I don't know if it's real or not or whatever. And it's speaking about his medical, situations that he had on. Anybody validated if this is true? I'm just saying, why would he present you that and you're going to chop it down and say it's not valid? This is doctored. This is made up. This is not from a legitimate doctor. This is false documentation. We can't go off this. So you actually believe he's going to waste his time presenting documentation out here? Okay, check this out. I want you to get my documentation together for my bicep surgery, all the medical attention I had to receive post February 22nd. All the injuries during recovery. We want to make a documentary, and I want you to put this out to YouTube. Why would he do that? It's wasting time. Kings are not going to go out here and appease the peasants. It's not going to happen, people. Big Dog in the building. Salute World Combat Sports. What's good? Man, all y'all in the chat, man. Share the content, man. And what I want you to do most of all, because I don't do this shit for views. I do it for content delegation. I want you to tell people they need to tune into this fight for Deontay Wilder, and they need to cheer the man on, and they need to be more of a voice, be more vocal out here on this YouTube with all the hate and everything going on that's unwarranted. Let's talk about how Tyson Fury is one of the worst boxers ever in the history of the sport. he is a validated cheater. So if SKIDMARK is supporting a cheater, why is he so quick to get up here and talk about Deontay Wilder not telling the truth about his situation when he actually stuck? He's been a man of his word. He's honored his word. And you know how? He told Tyson Fury, get yourself together and I'll give you a fight. Not one, but two. He allowed Tyson Fury to make that good money. But you tell me what happened. After the first fight, Tyson Fury didn't want the immediate rematch. He chose to go fuck off with Tom Schwartz and Otto Wallin. He chose to go over there and jump off the top rope in the WWE before he returned to fight Deontay. So that's with no integrity. Deontay Wilder gave him an opportunity. He gave him an opportunity. Get yourself together, man. I'm going to bless you. And I get some people taking that blessing from a black man to a white man as Tyson Fury. They want to convolute it as if he really didn't do anything special. Yeah, he did. He gave a crackhead an opportunity to clean himself up and get a shot at the title. That's what Deontay Wilder did. He should be commended and he should be saluted for giving Tyson Fury a crack at the title. Not only a crack at the title, but also to stick to his word and honor his word in a rematch. The only one that didn't honor their word in the rematch was Tyson, because he was going around trying to get his mind together and say, damn, that motherfucking 12th round, that nigga knocked me the fuck out. Shit. I really got to think about this. You heard John Fury up there saying he didn't want his son to go back in there with Deontay Wilder. He can get seriously hurt. So what is SKIDMARK talking about? Like, John Fury was against it. And then when the fight happened, when the fight was signed for the rematch, he comes out here talking about, he's gonna knock him out. Of course, you saying you're gonna knock somebody out if you have a plan to drug them. If you have the right individual to make that shit happen. Mark Breland threw in the towel. I'm not gonna bite my tongue. Mark Breland threw in the towel, y'all. He threw in the fucking towel. Deontay Wilder, through all the pain and everything, that people saying that he was out on his feet, how was he able to walk right back to the left side? Beeline straight to Mark Breland, coherently beeline to Mark Breland. Why you do that? Why the fuck you do that? Why you stop the fight? What the fuck? Mark Breland, he didn't know what to say. They're gonna be hell to pay, Charlie. That man had you on his team for years, and you betrayed him. You know how many people that I used to communicate with on this YouTube shit, and then they decide to branch off and become Wilder haters? So therefore, you telling me we was never friends to begin with, because you branched off all because you wanted to become a bona fide Wilder hater. You didn't want to support the dude. All you had to do is not support him. But don't sit up here and talk about, he got his ass beat, he's making excuses. Like he never could knock a motherfucker out. Like 41 of them dudes are not sitting up there on BoxRec. 41. And you're gonna jump on the torchlit parade and say he ain't shit. He's a one-trick pony. He never could box. It was only a matter of time. Now he putting out training videos. People don't know what to think. Because I'm telling you to assess the situation just like your negativity. Before you was up here saying, he doesn't have that much to attribute, to change it. He can't change. Who is he going to have in this corner? You're saying all this shit about him, right? He's flat-footed. He doesn't have balance. He doesn't throw combinations. He depends on the right hand. But yet they was cheering Mike Tyson on when he was motherfucking knocking dudes out. The styles are different, but when it comes to the heavyweight division, it's knockout etiquette. We want to see the knockout. Just like Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua. The knockouts made it exciting. Just like Vladimir Klitschko. Some of the fights he's been in. Just like Lennox Lewis. He's been knocked out before and came back and won. But the disgraceful part about this whole thing is you have people up here talking about they hardcore boxing fans, but they refuse to identify those great names before Deontay Wilder has faced adversity in their career. And some of these individuals have multiple losses on their record. We're not just talking about one or two. They have multiple losses on their record. Okay? So they would sit up here and now in social media era where you have followers, individuals don't have shit to do. They're not leaders in life. They've never been in position of employment where they have to lead individuals. They have to make decisions. They have to hold meetings. They have to allow individuals to hear their voices and also get their input on decisions to continue to grow wherever you at. You're the leader. These meetings are to provide structure for growth and advancement, right? They never did that. Ever. So when it comes to Deontay Wilder returning to the ring for this epic match, what should be applauded is him holding his square and strength as a man, as a black man, as a boxer, as a veteran, and as a champion. You know, we should sit up here and clap that shit up. That's the only thing we should be worried about. But how can you sit up here and advocate for a legitimate cheat? One of the worst boxers in boxing history. A man that has no respect for the sport because he wants to go out here and end people's lives. He don't care about the families. He don't care about nothing. He's all about cheating. It's been individuals that sparred with him that said he removed padding from the glove. People just want to ignore that because it's fury. You can't ignore the fact that other voices have admitted to the same actions. His actions was cheating, removing padding from the glove, loading the gloves, and all that shit. How can you advocate for one of the worst cheaters in boxing? I know Tyson Fury hate that Panama Lewis is no longer with us. He would have loved to have Panama Lewis in his corner when he fought Deontay Wilder in the rematch. He would have loved that shit. Give me that special water. Give me my water. He would have loved that shit. Panama, you think you can corner me? That's only if he wasn't banned, you know, for his Billy Collins situation. You know what I'm saying? And Luis Resto. If he wasn't banned in the United States, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Panama Lewis, you think you can corner me, man? This is the big one. I know you know you've been here. Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah. You know what I want. You know what I want. We don't have to talk about it. Let's get spun up on how we're gonna make this happen. Yeah. You know, we're gonna stick with removing the port. Yep. Okay. But since he couldn't get Panama Lewis to do it, he had somebody else do it. Same outcome. It wasn't a fair fight. People believe that Tyson Fury all of a sudden is power puncher, but the difference that they're not looking at, just listen to this. The difference is, can you legitimately say that Deontay Wilder was hit flush with a punch? And the fact that Deontay Wilder's knockdowns was comparable. I mean, Tyson Fury's knockdowns of Deontay Wilder was comparable to Deontay Wilder when he lands his punch. And was Tyson Fury ever considered a fighter with a puncher's chance to go in there and knock dudes out? One quitter hitters, sleep, walk off knockouts. No. So you can't teach a new dog tricks, right? That goes for Tyson Fury's too. Tyson Fury, own words. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, but you can cheat. And y'all need to understand that he's a cheater. You need to stand on your 10 toes, lock out your legs, inhale, stick your chest out, and march in there to wherever you're going to be at to watch this fight, man, and cheer on Deontay Wilder, period. If you got the funds to go out there to Vegas, now that all the restrictions are lifted, it's going to be the first fight in Allegiant Stadium. You need to do that. We need to come in mass. BronzeBomber Nation, we need to come out there and support, period. Fuck everything else you heard. Now this MGM shit where you have goddamn all those UK fans over there booing, and no, that's not a welcome the champ needs. The champ needs a real, bona fide, genuine, knock the roof off that motherfucker welcome. He need to hear that shit before he come out the tunnel. He need to turn to somebody and say, God damn, these motherfuckers off the chain tonight. Shit. That's gonna goddamn let him know. God damn, shit, let's go. Put the music on. Put the motherfucking music. Let's go. Put some music. No, it's time to go knock this motherfucker. Put the music on. Put the music. Let's go. We on. That's gonna pump up the champ. The goddamn want to go down there and make that shit happen quick. I never seen an American heavyweight disrespected like Wilder. Man, he's disrespected wholeheartedly, man. It's no doubt about it. It's no doubt about it. I feel he should have stopped the fight. Champ was taking a beating. Hey, and that's your opinion. That's your opinion. But I look at it this way. Instead of me pulling up clips and videos, right? People always say, I feel he should have stopped the fight. He was taking a beating, right? But who do you cheer, though? Who do you cheer when they're taking a beating? It's all about who you cheering that's taking a beating so they can come back. If you wasn't cheering Deontay Wilder, you're going to, of course, say the fight should have been stopped. He was taking a beating. But in boxing, there has to be other fights that you've seen that they was taking a beating and coming back. People up here cheering Baranchik and Cepeda, multiple knockdowns. Were you at the ring apron saying, save Cepeda, save Baranchik? Oh my God. No, the announcer was like, oh, another knockdown was scored. Look at this. This is a back and forth warfare. That like we never seen. These guys are throwing everything. They're firing off of all cylinders. They're dropping. Nobody wasn't up there at the ring apron saying stop the fight. When Mickey Ward and Arturo Gatti was throwing down, nobody was up there saying stop the fight. How many other fights have we seen that individuals made it to the 12th round and nobody was saying the fight should have been stopped? They said, oh shit, that was a damn good fight. But since it's Deontay Wilder, people want to say, well, the fight should have been stopped. He was taking a beating. How many boxing matches have you seen that it is absolutely punishing? It's brutal. And people's up there cheering it on. Motherfucking blood everywhere. Y'all wasn't saying that about Badu's Jack when he was split 12-6 in the middle of his forehead and it was blood everywhere. Y'all wasn't at that fight. Were y'all there? I was. Y'all wasn't saying that shit. When he had a split, you could see his skull and the referee let that shit go on. Tony Weeks was the referee. I didn't hear people up there on the ring apron, stop the fight. Oh my God, he's losing blood. Stop the fight. Throw the goddamn towel. Nope. It was blood everywhere in that motherfucker. Everybody that was ringside, judges, doctors, all that. I know they had a speck of blood on their attire that night. Were y'all saying stop the fight when Adrian Broner was taking all that heat against Marcos Maidana? Were y'all stopping the fight when Tonio Margarita was punishing Miguel Cotto? Were y'all saying stop the fight? Did y'all see how bloody and fucked up Miguel Cotto was? Probably from loaded gloves. I didn't see people running to the apron talking about save Miguel. Nah, it just don't go for Mexican and Latino fighters. You know what I'm saying? Just because they known to be in some wars, you just can't say, oh, this doesn't include black. So this is Deontay Wilder. we cannot acknowledge him being in a battle. We can't acknowledge him being in a battle. He's not the Mexican fighter. Come on, man. Were y'all saying that shit when Kell Brook was in there with Errol Spence? And his eye was looking fucked up. Did y'all say throw in the towel? When Andre Berto was fighting Robert Ghost Guerrero and both his eyes was swollen shut, he looked like an alien. Well, y'all running around the ringside talking about, stop it. Save Berto to fight another day. Save him. I didn't see anybody running around the motherfucking ring trying to save Berto. He was getting his ass whooped. He was getting outboxed. Eyes swollen shut. What about the Eric Morales fights? Were y'all there trying to save him? So I don't want to hear this bullshit talking about, well, he was taking a beating. That's boxing. If the man say he want to go out on his shield, don't act like it's just for certain boxers. Well, I can see, like, now hold up now. Like, that guy's tough right there. All right? That guy's tough. So I can understand him saying he want to go on his shield because he's tough. The Mexicans, they fight like that. They're tough. All right? Let them go out on their shield. But Deontay, nah, not too many black fighters. They're not built for the Mexican style. So you have to really pay close attention to them, monitor them, stay on top, micromanage their behavior in the ring, and see if they're really taking punishment. If you feel they're taking too much, stop the fight. Kenny Bayless did not stop the fight there. 21 strong. Kenny Bayless didn't stop the fight. He halted the fight from the towel being thrown in. Kenny Bayless didn't stop the fight, man. Even though he was letting Tyson Fury get away with some reckless shit, he did not stop the fight. The towel was thrown in for Mark Breland, and the fight was halted. But that's your opinion. Mark Nash in the building. What's good? WCSU, do you? Malik Scott's a better trainer, so new wrinkles. Do I believe Malik Scott is a better trainer than who? Because I've been there. Malik Scott been training anyway. He's been training Deontay Wilder anyway. I've seen JD's hold him miss. I've seen Coach Cuz hold him. I mean, he's been a part of the training anyway. So just because he's a head trainer now, people need to understand who haven't been to the camp. They wouldn't know. But it's not like Malik Scott is coming in from a different camp and he never really had hands in the camp. He had hands in the camp. He's a part of the team. So now he's just taking a different role, a different position as the lead, and people don't want to give him credit. They say support the black man, right? Support the black man, support the black man. Okay, if you're supporting the black man, why you continue to nitpick at the fact that Deontay Wilder likes to choose individuals that he's known for a long time, right? And them two black men can come up with a plan by intelligently reviewing film, talking it out, and applying it to new training techniques, new training regiments. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be strength and conditioning, whether it be putting combinations together, any of that shit. Why am I hearing so many black people discredit Malik Scott? All because he's the one that fought Deontay Wilder and he was stopped. It has absolutely nothing to do with his training. At the end of the day, Malik Scott, a professional boxer. Deontay Wilder, a professional boxer. So him being a lead trainer, they can come up here with that magic because they know each other. And they had a heart-to-heart. And who knows who else he's received input from. Y'all just looking at Malik Scott because the videos is out there. You don't know what else is going on. You don't know what else is going on with the training. They was in Miami training for a fight, doing a litigation. So you think he's not going to other gyms? He's not getting other work? Yes, he is. I seen Deontay Wilder spar 3 heavyweights in one training session. That is absolutely fact. I seen him spar 3 heavyweights. So I'm pretty sure he's capable of getting with Malik Scott and his team to come up with changes that he need to apply wrinkles on his shit. That's all I'm saying. The cut on Badu Jack's head did not impair his vision. It was right dead center of his forehead. And boxing, when it comes down to it, if it's not impairing your vision, they won't stop it. The same thing goes with Evander Holyfield's ear being bitten off. It did not impair his vision. Yes, cartilage was removed and it was gruesome, but the doctor said the fight can go on, period. It don't matter what we say out here. The doctor say the fight can go on. That's what he said. But King Mitch in the building, salute to you. Kenny Bayless a terrible ref. His fight always getting out of control. Yeah, you know, Kenny Bayless, man, he's done had some questionable, but when it comes to Floyd Mayweather, I don't know, that's his favorite ref. Being in the camp is different from being lead trainer and the one responsible for the game plan. I mean, if that's your opinion as far as, you know, being in the camp, I would just say that the visual of everything that transpires within the camp, the visual is cool. The visual, you can see how all the moving components work in a training camp. Sitting back here looking at people's media doesn't give you the full visual, because everything that's put in a clip is not from start to finish without any edits or cuts. What I'm saying right here, him sparring 3 heavyweights, is the fact that it was no recording allowed. So you only had to take that in with your visual. And if you're going out here reporting on Deontay Wilder, you look at how he sparred that night, you look at his training camp and everything else. So if you're trying to say someone that's been to training camp or someone who's seen him fight in person doesn't mean anything when it comes to the head trainer, I don't know what to tell you, because familiarity is really, really good. He has familiarity from the Olympics all the way up to the pros. He has familiarity with his circle and those individuals who train him. And we have to take in consideration too there, Mark, that this is the same team that people was up here saying should be fired long before Deontay Wilder stepped in February 22nd, 2020. So with that said, no one really should care if Mark Breland is gone. No one should really be up here making a huge argument discrediting Malik Scott as if he don't know shit about boxing. All because Deontay Wilder and Malik Scott fought. I mean, it's just very petty. It's selfish too, because if you haven't never really been to a training camp to see how all the moving pieces work, you can learn a lot. It's certain things I'm not going to mention, but I just want y'all to, you know, try to step in the training camp so you can see, because I'm appreciative that I was able to see on more than one occasion how he trains. That's all I can say about that. Like, you can be on YouTube all day looking at other people's clips, but some of that shit you couldn't record. So that's the shit you didn't see. I can speak on it because my eyes gave me that moment. I was blessed to have that moment and seeing how he looks in sparring. So therefore, when I seen him step in the ring against Tyson Fury, I knew that wasn't Deontay Wilder that I seen in damn sparring, seen in practice. That wasn't him. And being in camp is different from being a lead trainer. It has a lot to do with being a lead trainer, because a lot of people don't know that Malik still had say so. He still was an intricate role player on that team. I lost $500 on Wilder that night, and the way the champ was looking, I was okay with it. It's because he didn't look like he could win. I mean, I can understand what you're talking about. He didn't look like he can win. I mean, that's the whole point I'm trying to make. He didn't look like himself. He didn't look like himself. You have to look at the video, man. I'm not on the team, you know. So what new wrinkles? I mean, y'all acting like I'm in the camp. I'm speaking from what, conversations I have. What new wrinkles is a lot. Put his combinations together. Use his mobility, his foot movement. You know what I'm saying? Slip punches a bit better. You land the right hand. Make sure you don't allow him to counter you. Reset immediately. There's plenty of things he can work on to his wrinkles, but you've seen it already. You've been watching the videos like I have. He's doubling up on the left hook to the body. He's using head movement. He's setting up different combinational sets. It's plenty of wrinkles. I thought Wilder versus Fury could have been stopped early. That's what made the stoppage suspicious. Wilder was starting to look better, in my opinion. Hey, man, when your body started to, good point, Mitch. Like I look at it this way. Him working through what he worked through, was pushing through, his body feeling a certain way with all the adrenaline and everything. It probably was dang, expiring, you had sweat and everything going on. It's a lot of factors that can go into him potentially looking a little better as the fight go along, because you can kind of filter some of that shit out your system. But sometimes you can't. Sometimes the damage is too much for you to recover. All I know was he was still throwing punches. The man was fighting for his life. I respect the shit out of that. I can care less on how many other people have chosen to say, oh, just because so-and-so is talking about it, I don't want to support that fighter. Oh, that's good. Just because people saying he won the arbitration, oh, I got to find something else to hate on Deontay Wilder about. If you're a boxing fan and you ask certain questions, do your research, just like I do. I'm pretty sure I source my my info from some of the same sources you do on here. I listen to other people's videos. I read articles and everything else. "21 Stone, I've always been the fan that if a fight is one-sided and the fighter should be protected, I don't care what race a fighter is. Just my opinion." So let me process what you just said. A fight being one-sided. It's been fights that's just one-sided, right? They're 21 Strong. Let me provide some EDU, right? Was Teofimo Lopez and Vasil Lomachenko one-sided in the first half? No one was trying to jump through the ropes and stop that. Why? Probably because it's Lomachenko, right? It was Lomachenko. And they would have gave him every opportunity to win that fight. Even though he didn't really get going to the 7th round. They wanted to give him every opportunity to provide resurgency to defeat Teofimo Lopez. But it didn't happen. It didn't happen. How many fights have we seen where fighters are getting fucked up? And depending on the name of the fight, the fighters, they're allowed to go on and on and on. They allow the fight to go on and on. No one's even thinking about stopping this fight. They're allowed to keep going on and on and on because they really want to see what they paid to come and see. That's what they're here for. They want to come and see a boxing match. So you can't say a boxing match is only pertaining to those individuals who you're rooting for. 2 Mexican fighters, a Mexican and a black fighter, or a white fighter versus a black fighter. Mexican fighters, they don't get that. They say, oh, let them bang it out. Let them bang it out. Let them bang it out. But in Deontay Wilder's case, with no losses on his record, no losses, y'all. Deontay Wilder had no losses. Martin, as you pulled up and said, what up, what you on this morning? I don't even know if that's you, but it absolutely make no sense to me what I'm on. I'm doing a live just like you do. I don't know what that means, what you on this morning. Like that absolutely make no sense to me. I guess, you have trending whatever that's going on YouTube. And of course, people are making up their mind not to jump wholeheartedly on supporting Deontay Wilder. Let's not get it twisted on what it is. For those who supported Deontay Wilder like myself, nothing's changed. But those who have been jumping back and forth on different sides of the fence, they're making a decision. They're committing to say, do I want to support him entirely or no? Because they have people on their panels that may not like Deontay Wilder, or they do. They can't make up their mind, is it worth it to support Deontay Wilder, because they want to put all their focus on Malik Scott, on what he's going to offer and bring to the table. They want to put all the focus on what Deontay Wilder said after February 22nd. They want to put all the focus on all the collateral external distractions rather than worrying about the arbitration being won, his victory. And now the fight is official for July 24th. You're not hearing too many people speak on that with vigor. They want to continue to speak on, oh, this is what Deontay Wilder said. I don't like Deontay Wilder because he made these excuses. Oh, he said this. And, they continue to go back on the horseshoe. They just want to go from left to right in a horseshoe effect, where they want to go and speak about what he said, how he looked, him taking a loss for the first time. And then they go back into it. Since he took the punishment he did, he should take a tune-up fight. He shouldn't come back to the ring immediately. But these same individuals are not talking that language about any other fighter. They weren't saying that about Anthony Joshua. Dillian White has been knocked out umpteen amount of times. I mean, I'm talking about he's been in situations of adversity. He gets dropped by Alexander Povetkin in a brutal knockout. No one's telling him to take a tune-up. It's right back in there. Get it in. But Deontay Wilder loses on his feet, and he's walking over to Mark Breland. Dillian White had to be revived. Dillian White and Deontay Wilder's in the same division. That's what I'm on. That's what I'm on. I'm on the fact that individuals look at other fights, but yet they might be a bit fearful of standing a square because they need some controversy. They need some more people to, well, I ain't gonna go there. He's a pro Wilder channel. I support other fighters, Michael Williams Jr. I support Teofimo Lopez. I support Bud Crawford and a plethora of other fighters, Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? I support other fighters. But anybody who's followed the channel, I've been supporting Deontay Wilder heavy for a minute. And really, I could care less if you come to this channel because you feel that it's a pro Wilder channel. I've had conversations with people. Some of them were damn good, and some of them weren't on here. But what I won't do is cater to individuals that believe that I'm here for views, and I'm going to sit up here and say, you know what, Deontay Wilder, I don't think he's going to do it. Just so I can get people to say, oh, shit, he's not really Deontay. Let me go over here and talk shit. That's not going to happen over here, bro. It never has. But my people, you need to get together. You need to, get your hands together. We need to walk in unity coming up in Las Vegas. Black people don't need permission to support other black people. We don't need it. Most of the hate that I get on this channel is from whoever. A lot of it's from my own people. Same thing Floyd said. A lot of it's from my own people, from supporting Deontay Wilder. How are you going to be mad at me? Sometimes the only time people show up to this channel is when Deontay Wilder's on the thumbnail. This is SKIDMARK Chronicles. This was about a couple of things. You know what I'm saying? The BronzeBomber being talked about, his name being put in the mud, defamed. All the lies has been told. You know what I'm saying? And people sit up here and say, yeah, hey, and let's welcome SKIDMARK to the panel. You have these same people welcoming this individual who dog out boxers, but yet they believe he knows about boxing. He don't know shit about boxing. He has rehearsed lines in his head that he talks about the same shit over and over again. He don't know shit about boxing. But you ask him the length of a crack pipe and when he's gonna get his next hit, he can tell you that timeline. But if you're gonna say somebody can't fuck with you in boxing, start over talking them. Have a debate that's clean and allow each person to talk, because you know you'll get smoked out. Period. This will be a different hot box for you, SKIDMARK. You come on somebody else's channel. You know the crazy thing about it. The only time SKIDMARK has approached me when I'm on somebody else's channel, when he knows damn well that's his ally. He got people that want them on his channel just so they can get views. So they let him say and do what the hell he want. When I found out people want to put WCS versus this person for views, I say, man, these guys are really up here skirting for views, man. They really want certain individuals. Like, look, you can see my numbers, right? So really, they'll say, oh, he ain't nobody. But I go to somebody else's panel and I'm out here debating somebody. They'll put the motherfucking tag up there, the banner, and they'll let the shit go on and on, which I have no problem with, because whenever I walk in the smoke, that's what it's about. But that's not what I'm going to continue to come over there for. I'm not going to continue to come over there and rally against 5 Deontay Wilder haters. It's pointless. I'm not going to yell and scream, because you have people over here, you talk to them in this low-key monotone voice, right? They don't respect it until you raise your voice and say, look at him, he emotional. That is the most weakest motherfucking response I know. He emotional. But yet, SKIDMARK, he can go over here and yell and scream, slobbing, you know, look like his breath smell all to be damned. He's sitting up there drooling, and he actually have people wanting to defend him. It's amazing. It is amazingly foolish. People wants to defend this dude and have an attitude with those who have something negative to say about him. So what am I to do, World Combat Sports? I say, charge it to the game. They wasn't important to begin with. Because when he continued to stab them in the back, then they're gonna start showing up. Yeah, I don't want to hear shit you gotta say. Oh, SKIDMARK did this to me. I don't want to hear shit, dog. Because before that, you knew who he was. You kept him around, and then he turned on your ass, and then you want to come back over to the channel that haven't been, you know, even involving himself in that shit. And now you want to act like, oh, it's time to go over here and talk. I don't want to hear shit about SKIDMARK. Like I said before, he ain't coming over here to my channel to debate. What people can't say is I don't know shit about boxing. What people can't say is I don't know shit about mixed martial arts. What they can't say is I don't know shit about grappling. I don't sit up here and compete with anybody. There's no need for me to have a debate with someone who's able to go to channel and talk about controversy. That's not talking about boxing. You want to talk about Deontay Wilder as being a liar, and that's your only claim to fame right now. Okay, continue to put that parade. But my focal point is to get boxing fans together, especially the black boxing fans. That doesn't include SKIDMARK because he's Ethiopian. We're talking about the true brothers that's supporting the champ. And let's show up to Vegas. That's what we want to do. And understand, when you hear SKIDMARK talk, understand one thing. We do get a lot of hate from one another. But understand that this guy turning on black people all the time, he has his own internal situation with being racist. I truly don't think he liked black people. Because if you watch all the panels that SKIDMARK has been on, he's starting to claim himself supporting the Latino fighters. He's trying to find an avenue for which it fits for him. So I really don't think SKIDMARK likes black people. Listen to his panel. He really don't support black people like that. Deacon 305, He's an older cat like myself. He's disrespected that man plenty of times. He don't like black people. And now it all makes sense. It's because he's an Ethiopian. He's not happy with what he sees in the mirror. He can't fit in. So now he's going to go to the channels that accept him, that want him for views. And most of them are Latinos or Hispanic. Real talk. The brothers ain't fucking with him like that. Fred's show is a non-censor show. He said, okay, because I had to call around and ask, that's an open censor, that's a non-censor show. So who he have, who he has on there, right? He don't take one side or the other, from what I know. But for the most part, the brothers are not fucking with SKIDMARK. But now he want to say he's a Latino boxing fan when he was up here bigging up Haney. All the time. We just can't smooth over that. We can't smooth over the fact that Haney came out his mouth every single day. Every thumbnail was Haney. And I just sit back and let that shit dissolve. I did. Regardless of the encounter me and BH had, I knew deep down in Bill Haney's mind, he was a smart, intelligent man who did not fuck with H. He just used them. When H found out that Bill Haney was just using them and the connection wasn't there, it's no Haney no more. He might put a thumbnail up, Haney versus Teofimo. We heard that shit. Teofimo's made it perfectly clear what he's planning on doing. But make no mistake about it. When you're talking about dick riders, or if you was getting paid or whatever, to each his own. You was up here all Haney bandwagon. You was never a true bona fide Haney fan to begin with because your brother was. Your brother was a Haney fan. You jumped on the bandwagon. So you've been a bandwagon rider your entire freaking time, bro. You was never a Devin Haney fan from the beginning. I'm not saying Champ was going to make a miraculous comeback, but he looked visibly worse early in the fight. Breathing cracked under the real pressure. That's why he no longer has a job. It's a lot of factors and variables, like you said, that contributed to his firing. His orders were not to throw in the towel, let him go out on the shield. His orders, be it that Deontay say, I'm the boss, was to not throw in the towel. That's what Deontay Wilder's orders were. Period. If Wilder goes back to using that jab, it's going to be hard to beat. True words. And that's what they've been working on. He was getting to a point, he was using the blind two, which which JD's had mentioned, that he was just popping the jab out there for a distraction and cracking the two behind it. And it worked out several fights. But like I said before, did we get 100% of Deontay Wilder to really throw that right hand correctly with maximum power in that rematch with Tyson Fury? The answer is no. It's not an excuse. It's what I seen. It's what I seen. If Wilder goes back to using the jab, it's going to be hard to beat. No one was ever hurt in a Teo fight like the champ was. Come on now. I'm talking about how lopsided. If you read the comment, how one-sided. Read the comment. One-sided. Read the comment. We're talking about one-sided fights. One-sided fights. That fight was one-sided for a huge period of that fight. You can sit up here and say just because they was boxing and they was at 135-pound division, they didn't take punishment. They did. Teo was landing shots, but this ain't about Teo right now. I get on Teo when it's about Teo. This is about the BronzeBomber. Deontay Wilder was still defending himself as much as he possibly can. He had a 270+ pound man, leaning on him, doing dirty tactics or whatever the case was. He still fought through it. Why is it something that you expect me to bite my tongue on about the pluses that happened in the fight, the pluses of him fighting through that damn heavy ass opponent that he had in Tyson Fury, being on unsteady legs, his body not being, 100% healthy, influenced under an unknown substance or chemical. The man was still fighting. So just imagine someone fighting through the rest like that. They feeling like, damn, my legs ain't on me, my strength ain't, but they still up there fighting. That's a motherfucking warrior right there. That's motherfucking heart. I don't know what y'all believe. I know y'all looking at this shit like, oh, I get tired of hearing, Wilder fanboys talk about what he did good in the fight against Tyson Fury. It was a lot of good. I guess I look at it from a combat perspective. I just look at it different. Real talk. I just look at it different. Because even the man who lost, he should have won over fans like they do and give other fighters when the final bell rang and the fight was brutal. And they say, oh, man, we just want to congratulate you for a superb performance. Man, you show heart, grit, resilience. You don't want to give Deontay Wilder his credit for not being 100%. Everybody say he looked different. He moved different. But yet you don't want to say something had to be wrong. Something had to be wrong in that fight. He wasn't himself. That wasn't Deontay Wilder that stepped in there against Bermane Stiverne. That wasn't the one who fought Dominique Brazil, Luis Ortiz. That wasn't the same Wilder. It's not an excuse. It's facts. That wasn't the same dude. Big Dog said Martin Nash, he was terrible in the Wilder fight, terrible in the Taylor versus Ramirez. He is trash. I wouldn't say Kenny Bayless is trash because he is a veteran referee, but neither would I advocate for how he refereed the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury fight because he did make mistakes. He allowed Tyson Fury to use dirty tactics on the opposite side of Kenny Bayless' view. It was a lot of things that happened. Just because he took a point, I mean, okay, cool. But it was long overdue for him taking a point. He let the man rough Wilder up before he did any of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. If he made it to the 7th round on unsteady legs, chemically influenced, which impaired his mobility, he had ample amount of time to recover from bicep surgery, all that shit. I'm looking forward. No retreat, no surrender, no excuses. I have 100% confidence this fight is going to turn out different. Tyson Fury is saying he's going in there to knock him out in 1 round. Okay. All right. Who just knocks Deontay Wilder out in 1 round? Tyson Fury couldn't do it. He had 2 knockdowns in the rematch, right? Tyson Fury couldn't do it. He couldn't even keep Deontay Wilder down for a 10 count. If you really want to be clear about it, he was fading. Just look at it this way when you process it. Tyson Fury was fighting an impaired, debilitated Deontay Wilder that night, right? And he still couldn't keep him on the canvas. He knocked him down twice and still couldn't keep him down for a 10 count. Even when the towel was thrown in, Deontay was on his feet. That was a debilitated Deontay Wilder that night. So I want you to think about this. Inhale just a little bit and exhale. To all the haters, that is scary because all the time he's had off to work on new shit, to heal, it haven't been like he's taking a beating. Y'all need to understand it. It's not like he's been taking a beating. Like, dude has been knocking motherfuckers out. So now with the 14, 15 months he's been out the ring, heading there in July, what's next, y'all? Come on, man. What's next? Talk to me. What's next? Now talk to me. What's next? If Deontay Wilder was able to be on his feet when the fight was stopped, from the towel being thrown in, not Tyson Fury knocking him out, any of that. I know people love to say, "Oh, he knocked Wilder out, he beat the shit out of him." Okay, you can talk your talk, you can talk your shit. But if you had a Wilder who was impaired in a debilitated fashion, he wasn't 150% healthy on that night. For whatever the influence was, we don't know the chemical, we don't know the substance, we don't know none of that. He just didn't look the same. And he still fought for his life under duress and under those circumstances. Don't you find that extremely dangerous with him coming back into the ring after all this time off? Do you know all the precautions that him and his team is going to have with water, with food, all that shit? They're going to have different type of measures set in place to protect their fighter, to ensure when fight night is on deck and he's sitting up there suiting up and it's about time for him to make that ring walk, it would be the Deontay Wilder that they know. When they look in each other's eyes and say, "I'm good." Deontay, "I'm good. I feel good. Let's go." It's going to be different. The march is going to be different. That's what I'm on. Y'all niggas roll up to the scene talking about what's this, where we at, and all that. Nigga, y'all know how long I've been doing this media shit. You know my catalog. Stop going around here asking dumbass questions. Nobody's trying to hear none of that. If y'all ain't rocking with the champ, don't rock with it. But don't come over here asking questions that you can look up on social media yourself. Why ask me about wrinkles in somebody's game? Call them up. Call up the champ, man. Y'all have shit. Y'all doing interviews. Call up. Get with Tay Jones. Call Tay Jones. Hey, Tay, what wrinkles they putting in the game? And see what information he give you. Tay Jones, can you just give me information what wrinkles they putting in the game, please? I just need to know what wrinkles. You can see he's putting videos out. If you're a true Deontay Wilder, you understand what he's doing different than what he's done in his last 3 fights. You can look at it. Even though his last 3 fights didn't really show you shit. I'm talking about the Dominic Brazil. I'm talking about Luis Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking about it's a way that you can review the film and then look at how he looked in the rematch against Tyson Fury. It can tell you a lot of shit. Hey, Bomb Squad Nation, rise up. Once again, get together. We're going to be in Vegas in unity. It's going to be deep. This is the biggest fight in boxing. This is the biggest fight. This Deontay Wilder fight versus Tyson Fury is bigger than any fight that you've seen recently. Bigger than Canelo's fight, any fight. Nothing compares to it. Nothing compares. Nothing compares to it. It's a trilogy of the 2 top names in the heavyweight division. Please don't come up here believing when the numbers come out, you think this is not going to be anything other than what I said. This is the biggest fight. One of the biggest fights in boxing history. It will surpass Tyson Holyfield in PPV numbers. It will surpass that. It will surpass it, bro. I have absolutely no doubt it's going to surpass those numbers. Deontay Wilder's fight for arbitration will not be all for naught. It will be a chevaux at the end of this. It will be a celebration. He's going to come back and pick up his title. And I don't wish no ill will on the naysayers and haters. It's just you're going to have to bow down and admit that you was a motherfucking hater. You let other people influence your narrative. You just get tired. How do motherfuckers get exhausted when you're talking about a black fighter with the power of Deontay Wilder and influence he has on boxing, how do you get tired of hearing people talk that want to congratulate him on his pluses when he lost in the rematch? All they want to talk about the negatives. Talk about this arbitration, though. Talk about the motherfucking arbitration. Talk about that victory. What's going on, D-Ray? How you feel, bro? Salute. WCS in chat, fam. Blessings to you, man. Man, this is going to be going up. This is SKIDMARK Chronicles EP2, man. It's not going down where it's going to be a bashing parade. No, it's none of that shit. We're going to take this shit all the way to July 24th. And I want you all to, if you listen to the playback, the link is going to be in the chat. The link is going to be in the chat. This is going to be for the Deontay Wilder fans that want to come over here and talk. And if some who disagree with it, then I'm open to speak on it. It's cool. But it's primarily BronzeBomber Nation. We're gonna have the bat signal up the entire time from this day forward all the way to fight night. So when you see SKIDMARK Chronicles upside down, that means SKIDMARK is on his back. He always been on his back. When you like that in life, you don't know what it's like to be upright and living good. You don't know what it's like. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be able to come over here and just bash a motherfucker and be disrespectful and talk about he's another black man. Check this out. SKIDMARK gonna tell me one time, say Muhammad Ali, he lost to Leon Spinks and then got his title back. I spoke to the people about it, and they say it was some, predetermined outcomes in that fight because they wanted Leon to be champion. Muhammad Ali did. And he called himself mirroring a Muslim in Muhammad Ali. You are a disgrace. The nation don't know who you are. You think they're going to defend you because you want to so-called claim that? So why aren't y'all sticking together? Why y'all dogging out other channels like Arki TV who are Muslim? You can't be that's my man Muhammad Ali. You're not representing Muhammad Ali. You supporting other black fighters? You were supporting Devin Haney, right? He's a black fighter, right? But yet you tearing down another black fighter. Isn't that what you just said on Fred's show? You want to talk about how Deontay Wilder was tearing down Mark Breland, but yet you up here tearing down Deontay Wilder when you're supposed to be supporting Devin Haney heavy and all the fighters that's in that camp, right? That's you, right? You was yelling all these names up, how they're going to be the next big deal, the next champion, all that, but you tearing down black men. You know why? Because you're a racist yourself. You don't like black people. SKIDMARK don't like black people. He's mad because he's not black. Listen to his videos. He tears down black people all the time. In his street life, he never fit in. Even the Ethiopian gangs didn't want this cat around, if they have some. But when it comes down to it, what y'all individuals not what are y'all not getting? What y'all missing, dog? Don't get mad when I call y'all dumb as hell for supporting this dude just because he bring controversy. That's your ignorance, not mine. This YouTube shit, they want to say it's a YTBC community, a YouTube boxing community. But you have a U.S. heavyweight champion who was dethroned, right? And we have no other heavyweight champion except the WBA champion, which is Don King fighter, Trevor Bryan. He holds the WBA championship, secondary, right? He's the only U.S. champion right now in heavyweight division like that. But we all know who, the king and the man who held the coveted WBC title for the length of time. So we should respect that. But now I'm not gathering from the U.S. fans on why you're not trying to encourage and support and build him up on his way back to the ring. They'll say Deontay Wilder been out the ring, he need a tune-up fight, but yet they want Tyson Fury to face Anthony Joshua. You sound dumb as fuck. You want to hoop and holler and let people on your panel. This all the people all the voices that was out there doing this shit. You want people to come on your panel and say Deontay Wilder needs a tune-up fight, but yet you're encouraging Tyson Fury, who's been out the ring the same amount of time as Deontay Wilder, to step in there and fight Anthony Joshua. That's called hypocrisy. That's called prejudice. You don't even want to support your own people. Deontay Wilder should fight a tune-up fight, but yet you're pushing for a trilogy. I mean, you're pushing for undisputed between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Which one is it going to be? Which one is it going to be? Are you concerned about Deontay Wilder's health, or are you more so selfish and stubborn and prejudiced to say, oh man, I just want to see an all UK. I just want to be a part of something. Deontay's pro-black. He talks too much. He should be quiet. But you'll hear this same SKIDMARK over here talking about, man, you tearing down a black man. Don't you dare mention black. Nigga, you ain't been a black man a day in your life, dog. Don't you dare mention a black man. You are not black. You ain't black, dog. Neither are you sober. You aren't black. You're not black. So you definitely can't speak for us. You're not black. So I understand why you're bringing all this hate and discontent. I understand. Because you're frustrated. You might have climbed out of a black hefty bag, chewed your way out of it. I made it. Let me catch my breath. You might have climbed out of a black hefty bag into life. That is as black as it get. The darkness that you felt before you saw that damn street light and you climbed down in that sewer system. That's about it. So for you to go up here and call Deontay Wilder a bitch and he a bum and all this other shit, he making excuses. What have you done? You and what you've contributed to is way worse than what you're trying to sit up here and verbalize about Deontay Wilder. You are a waste of human life. You are a waste of human life because you have other weak-minded individuals that's willing to support you because you bring views to their channel. Weak-minded individuals that's willing to support you that say the same thing over and over again. That is why YouTube don't get any respect for boxing. There are channels out here that's pretty much thorough in their content. The QoS is solid. Real talk. The quality of service is solid. But your channel is not. I can move as I see fit. I'm not dependent on any income from YouTube. I don't see dudes out here from YouTube that's saying they're going to retire in 2 weeks because they made enough money. Not with YouTube taking 30%. So y'all remember that shit when you out here listen to this cat dog out a prominent black leader in life and in boxing of the Deontay BronzeBomber Wilder. You dogging out an Olympian, but yet you want to big up Mark Breland, who you never gave a fuck about to begin with. You never gave a fuck about Mark Breland. Never. Pull a video. $100 to each video somebody give me of SKIDMARK talking good about Mark Breland prior to February 22nd, 2020. Just tell me. Just show me the video where he was up here bigging Mark Breland up. And he's bigging up Deontay Wilder's team. From what I heard, people were saying he should fire everybody on the team. But at that time, SKIDMARK was supporting the BronzeBomber. He was happy that the BronzeBomber recognized his energy. But what happened when you have someone that never been anything in life influenced by drugs? They're gonna goddamn turn on you. They're gonna be betrayal. They're gonna betray you. They're gonna be disloyal. They're gonna be snakes. And that's exactly what we see going on right here. He chose to get with those individuals who are pretty much defaming the Bronze Bomber name after coming out of arbitration with that win. Now he want to attack his whole team. He wants to attack the entire team. Next, he's going to be talking about Deontay Wilder's family. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. This dude feels he's protected, and he isn't. He's going to be talking about Deontay Wilder's family. You know, he wanted to bring some imaginary daughters that I had in there. He might even start talking about Deontay Wilder's family and his daughter and all that, just to get a point across, just to bring more controversy. And then you have these same weak-minded individuals having them on his panel to talk about the same thing. Hey, talk about what was going on over there, man. We don't know. You said something about Deontay Wilder's family. What was that about? Watch what I tell you, people. This shit is going to happen. That's the disrespect he has. Next time y'all see the SKIDMARK Chronicles episode 3, man, click the link and let's talk about this fight coming up. It's the biggest fight in boxing. It's the biggest fight on the horizon, and it needs more attention in the proper light. We're going to keep this motherfucking halo shining bright. We're going to band together and support the champ as he go back in the battle. Period. Don't let these naysayers out here refute the fact and overlook that Deontay Wilder won arbitration. when these motherfuckers out here trying to encourage that he takes step aside money. Cowards, ain't they? Cowards. And I know who take this personal. I know the ones who take it personal. I know the damn snitches out there. I know the ones who are giving in. It's just certain type. You know, Joshua Greer said this shit. Shout out to Don't Blink. And it's true to form, man. Joshua Greer told me. Shout out to Don't Blink. Joshua Greer Jr. told me, if you have an ounce of bitch in you, I get it out of you. That shit is true. I know it. If you have an ounce of bitch, and that's how I look at some of you niggas, you can see that motherfucker has bitch tendencies. But you just got to give it time to play itself out. Greer said, if you have an ounce of bitch in you, I'll find it. I'll find it. It will show its face. I will pull it out. It's true. I might be back on here later on. It's a lot of boxing topics to talk about. It's a lot that's been going on. Just because I'm talking about, SKIDMARK Chronicles don't mean I'm not studying up and understanding what else is going on in boxing. It's some fights that's popping off. You know what I'm saying? You got Devin Haney, Jorge Linares that's going on this weekend. I'm looking forward to a good fight. You know what I'm saying? Jorge Linares, he has experience in the game. We already know his performances in there with certain individuals. Okay. I'm not going to start giving comparisons to Lomachenko's performance than anybody else. But Devin Haney, he's going to go in there and do what Devin Haney does. He knows how to box. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take more than boxing with Jorge Linares, though. It's going to take more than boxing because I see Linares as being a tough fighter. You know what I'm saying? He has more power. But to me, Devin Haney is a better boxer, but Jorge Linares can box. He can box. You have to look at how many rounds he went with Vasyl Lomachenko. It's going to be a good fight. I'm going for Devin Haney to win that. Real talk. I'm going for Devin Haney to win that fight. And then, of course, all the other fights that's ongoing. Gervonta Davis fight is going to be here in the ATL. And amongst other things, Teofimo Lopez fighted Triller against George Kambosos I mean, the way they're branding him and promoting him is unbelievable. I mean, his shit is taking off on a whole nother stratosphere. T.O. might come in and talk his shit, but he's still promoting his brand. That's good shit. That's good shit. But I got business to take care of, man. It's been a pleasure. And if you take it personal, cool. I'm fine with it. I'm fine when you're taking this shit personal. You know, if you don't want to come and support the channel, cool. You come over here and ask dumb questions like that, I'm not gonna bite my tongue. If I feel you'd being that fuck nigga that's come over here acting like you sensitive and you got that bitch assness in you, and you feel like the only time you need to show up to World Combat Sports is when I have a Deontay Wilder topic, then so be it. But don't come over here acting like shit all brand new. Don't come over here acting like shit all brand new. Especially you niggas that live local and don't even reach out. I ain't the type of nigga to tell you to reach out, but don't come over here acting like, oh, well, what do you know about it? Nigga, go to a fight camp. Go to a fight camp. Find a fight camp. Do your research. If y'all really want to get knee embedded in this boxing shit, make the phone calls. Get in the fight camp so you can see the shit that's not recorded. Certain shit that can't be recorded. That is the shit that ever sits in your mind and you learn and you educate yourself and you can speak on it. But to the people who never been to fight camps, period, who never sat down on a fight, it's hard for them to process certain things on how the transitions happen in boxing. Certain things that happens and transition in fight camps. How certain training regimens go. You'll never know. But depending on your respect level for the voice that you hear speaking on it is how you process it. Because a motherfucker can come over here and I'll be telling you about shit that I've seen in Deontay Wilder's fight camp. And just because you don't like Deontay Wilder, you're going to ask dumbass, ignorant, uneducated questions. More so just to get a reaction. I'm not saying I'm sick of it because you never had that much energy for me to get sick of it. I just understand it for what it's worth. That's all. Salute.
Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 sense for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back, just wait and you'll see. Please excuse me, your honor, but you can't hold me no longer. Can't you feel the vibrations? I broke out and left traces. Go ahead, try to catch me if you can, man. You'll be looking all night, I'm the Sandman. New York, London to Japan. I'ma show the whole world who I am. Boom.